All right, guys. Welcome back. And I just wanted to say, be very careful when, these are real eye charmer. These see-through Nintendo DS-LITE cases. When you see them on eBay, Amazon, I just want to say, be very, very, very cautious when you do purchase them. I purchased this one and online, and so my camera's not the best quality because I'm using my cell phone, but this thing's got cracks. It's so brittle. When you know how you fold it and you open it, the part that you see right here, like not the first time, but maybe like the second, third time I had opened it, it had snapped because look, it's so brittle and you got little specks and pieces. Gotta get that wire out. There we go. Like, here's a great example of how broken piece of shit this thing is. Um, so just be very careful. And then, I did notice like a red flag when I had opened it, and that is that the actual case, when you had looked, I mean, it had been put. I haven't touched this thing in like a year and a half because I went ahead at that point and just bought a 3DS XL. But the thing is, it was warped, but I had very carefully built it so that like when it is compressed and built, the warpage over time should subside. But I was totally wrong because what I was thinking was that whoever stored these, whatever warehouse, wherever they were definitely stored in heat and they were stored for a long time. This is the type of plastic that over time gets super brittle and starts breaking. It doesn't last long. I had contacted the person I bought it from the day, like the day, well, a few days after, it had broke. And it had broke, like, look, if it's cracked, whatever, I could deal with that. But it broke pretty much at that point I was showing you, and that when I had opened it, the top screen would flop out towards me, and I'd have to catch it and place it back in. That's ghetto as hell. That sucks because you have that look, I'm actually see this black case right here? This is an old case that I had taken off to install this body. Like this body I took to install it into that body. So I transplanted the circuits and everything, the circuit board and all that. Um, but that ribbon right there, that is a screen ribbon for the top screen. And if that ribbon even gets a fine tear in it, you're done. So when that screen was falling forward, there was a chance that that screen could get a tear. Fortunately, my screen did not get a tear. But here I am right now. I've spent the last hour transplanting everything back in very neatly. And I advise if you guys do the same, please take your time with it. These DS lights are pretty fun to build. As you can see, over the years, I have, I've known people that their DSs have broke, and I've collected parts. I've even built a few. Um, this one right here, it works, but the only issue with this particular one is that that screen right there. I need to uh, I need to replace that screen. So I need to buy a new screen because that screen has lines through it. Yepers, it has lines. And probably because there's like a micro tear in there that I can't even see. But that's okay. I keep the parts. They always work. If I ever need any sort of IC or anything from it, I can definitely these are not too bad off. Like some of these you can be able to heat up with the heat gun and get off of the board and transplant them if needed. I wouldn't want to do a transplant from a 3DS XL because I'm pretty sure there are ICs on that 3DS XL that are way smaller. But yeah, this is a fun build. It used to be a hobby of mine, and just wanted to let you guys know. So I'm about to film another video updated when this gets when I get finished with this. And also the surprise is that um, look, this thing right here, the buttons weren't too bad. Three of four of the buttons were aligned. The fifth button, I think it's like the letter X or something. It's it's kind of at an angle. Like it fits in perfectly, but the X is drawn at the wrong angle, and that's okay. That's okay. But where I'm getting at is that I'm keeping the green see-through D-pad and the green buttons and installing them in this. So I'll show you that when it's done. So pretty much it's all black with the green D-pad and green buttons. It's gonna be nice. And yes, I am on the reinstall. I am going to install the microphone as well as of course, the speakers. Got to have the speakers. But yeah, you know, like the here, let me show you. This little piece right here. Believe it or not, that's a microphone. It's so small. And if you ever do your build, you might think, well, why do I need a microphone? Well, I may not need it, but you know, it's nothing wrong with putting something back correctly. Um, whether you use the features or not. So that way you have the resale value if you ever want to get rid of it. And if you guys seen these things on Amazon lately, they're used and stuff. People are wanting like 120 bucks for them now. So they're pretty vintage. Nintendo stopped making parts for the 3DS XL last year. Here we are in 2022. It is May now. So yeah, we're getting up there in May, and we're about to enter June. And the Switch is out. And in my opinion, I don't like the Switch. I've turned around and bought the new 3DS XL, the one where they put the brand new chipset that's faster and it's got better picture quality, video quality. I bought that one and because you know I'm a classic guy. I like the dual screen feature of the DS. How cool is that? Like, will Nintendo ever make another handheld unit with the dual screen? I don't know. You know, I've really wished they would have taken the Switch and learned from the DS and made the Switch a dual screen. Am I the only one that wanted the Switch to be a dual screen? Not the Switch that you have in your house, but I mean that could have been dual screen. That's cool, but you know when that Switch, what do you call that thing? Was it a Switch Lite? The one that the handheld Switch that you just take on the go, that does not hook to your TV. That one they should have made that a dual screen. I mean, come on, Nintendo. It is what it is. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this build because it's 2 a.m. and I'm currently at work at my night job, and this is what I do at my night job. I don't get paid to do this, but I get paid to do something else. But this is what I do for fun when times are slow and work is boring. So, love you guys. I'll be back with the update. Hey guys, what is going on? This is part two to the video I shot at work showing you that I was transferring the insides from one DS to an old case, the other DS being that green one that was complete trash that I ordered online. It had come warped. One of the buttons was an incorrect layout, and it had hairline fractures and brittleness. It was a really bad deal, though it would looked cool online. See-through green, pretty groovy. Slime green, my favorite color. It did not turn out to be a good deal in the end. My DS literally broke apart within the week that I built it. And I built it correctly because I know how to do these things. Um, honestly, because I've built quite a few DSs. And it takes breaking one or two to learn how to put one or two together correctly. Let me tell you that. These things have really small ribbons that are tricky, small wires that are very tricky to guide through the circuit board. And if you don't do it right, the casing will not come together correctly. You will have gaps between each casing plate. Okay, let me just show you. This is the finished result. I finished building it at work that night, but we got busy in the later AM, so I did not have the time to shoot the full video, shoot the end result video. So here we go. This is the DS. As you can see, I'm using the original black case that I've had stored. And what's groovy about this is that I have incorporated some of the leftover parts from the green one that were not brittle and cracking. As you can see, I've preserved the green screw plates. Those look pretty cool. And the green buttons, D-pad, start and select button. Pretty groovy, huh? I like the mixed color between matted black and this see-through lime green or slime green or green screen green, if you will. The buttons are fine. It was just the X button that is off. And in case you're wondering, no, I did not install that sideways. On the bottom of each button are little nudges that fit into like a nudge insert, if you will. Like the nudge is the male component and the insert is the female component. It's just that whoever made these knockoff parts painted the X incorrectly on the button. Now, I had looked at it and said, too bad I cannot shave the nudge down and turn it around and have a correct X, because if I would have done that, I would have had a button that was super wobbly and not efficient. I don't want that. I like my buttons tight and I like them to bounce back when pushed. It's very important because it can cause a lot of problems if you don't have correct button installation. Now let's get to the next part. This is pretty cool. When I fold it, it appears to be an original DS on the outside, DS-LITE. But let's turn it around. As you can see, I've incorporated one green R button and I've kept an original black L button. I think that's a pretty groovy design, a black and green. But unfortunately, in this case, I had no choice. The L button, or yes, the L button here, the original green one that came off the other case, the loops in them were brittle, cracked, and broken off. So though there was only one loop to loop the bar through and not two, if I would have proceeded with that, it would have made a loose button that would shift, knock the spring out of place, and it would get stuck and stay stuck and have no bounce back nor push forward. I decided to just do it right and correct the first time, so I just installed a button that has very good integrity. So far, this button's integrity is very good as well. I checked for hairline fractures, brittleness. If I would have found brittleness or hairline fractures, I would not have used the green one. I would have stuck to another black one. But since it's good, I thought that looked pretty groovy. Turning it on the flip side forward, I've decided to stick with the green volume slider. Oh, excuse me. The green, how do you say, Game Boy Advance door, which pull this door out and you will be able to put Game Boy Advance cartridges in there. And I've decided to go with the green power button slider and the green stylus. I'm going to take that out in a moment and show you how cool that is. Um, Flipping it upside down, I went with the green uh, button covers, the green see-through backing for the battery, which I think is totally cool for this model. Um, and if you see what I've got here is that um, a long time ago I decided to buy a few of these batteries because I had, spare parts I was collecting, and just in case, I had built a few models, and I actually ended up giving two of them away to people that I know, close friends, um, just for free, so they'd have something to play. One of my friends, he likes video games, but he prefers his PC gaming and or Xbox, and that's totally cool because I like Xbox and PC gaming as well. Um, and really, to each their own. I even like, when it comes to PlayStation, I had a PlayStation 4. I know I'm getting off track, but I had to get rid of it because I was spending like 6 hours a day on Grand Theft Auto 5. I found that quite unhealthy, so I went ahead and sold it and um, proceeded on with my life. Um, but to get to the point here, my friend had given the DS-LITE I gave him away to his cousin, which was at the time an 8-year-old boy, which that totally made his day. What other Nintendo product did that little boy have? He also had a, let's think back. What was before the Switch? Oh, the Wii U. He had a Nintendo Wii U. I remember we visited and we played, what's that? Smash Brothers on there. That was awesome game. I love it. Um, I played Smash Brothers for the Switch, but honestly, I had more fun on that Smash Brothers for the Wii U. Probably because it was me and my friend and his little cousin, and here we were, like 30 something year old men, having a good time, video games, reminiscing with his young cousin, and it just really brought us back to when we were kids. So maybe that's why I enjoyed that much better than the times that I've gone over to my friend's house and played Smash Brothers on the Wii. Um, it's just something about playing with our younger ones, the video games that make it more fun than playing video games with the boys, the guys. You know what I'm saying? But on this battery right here, I decided to buy a few. But if you notice, these are the 2000 milliamp batteries, which these are literally the upgraded version. This is not a Nintendo product, but it is a knockoff product, like an aftermarket, or from another company. But I encourage you, if you own a DS-LITE, to buy these 2000 milliamp batteries because I believe, I could be wrong. Okay, so I think the original DS-LITE battery was either 1500 milliamps or 1200 milliamps. If anybody wants to comment on that, feel free to. Um, I do pay attention to the comments, guys, and I do actually answer comments. If you have a legitimate comment and you're not being rude, I'll answer it. Cool. You got any questions? Cool. I'll take the time to answer them. I'm not too busy for that. I work two jobs. I have a family. I'm building a family of my own. Um, I own a house that I have to maintain. Uh, but I still will find the time for people in need of knowledge. Now, let's move on. This stylus is the exciting part. Well, the exciting part is, does it start? Does it work? And we will answer that in a moment. But check this out. This stylus, I felt like it was still in good shape. I don't see any hairline fractures or cracks. I didn't sense any brittleness or, how do you say? I didn't see any color fading in it. Color fading is a real big indicator of brittleness happening on the inside. And I believe this brittleness is caused by chemical bonding inside. Um, if it's made from cheap plastic, which the the main case was with the buttons and such, But these particular components I've installed on here are not showing signs of that yet, which is okay with me. Um, and you know, I may have mentioned it in my other video, but I believe that these cases that this man sold or woman that sold me, I don't know what the gender, but it doesn't matter. The individual that sold these, I feel like these cases were or these bodies were held in a hot warehouse or some sort of very hot storage because originally that green case that I installed the original circuit board and components in, um, when I had put that together correctly, it was warped and you could see it, and I was like, oh my god, how do I deal with this? So I I just gave it some time, and every now and then I would check the integrity of the screws, and eventually um the warpage um started looking more decent, like it wasn't really an eyesore much anymore. But that was over the span of the week, and then all of a sudden I started seeing the cracking and the brittleness and the discoloration. So the warpage, just putting it together, warped, really stretched and pushed it to the limit. And I believe the chemical makeup it was made of, being stored in a hot warehouse. That's my idea of what happened. I could be wrong. Um, it just it just warped it. It made it no bueno, if you will, no good. But look at this stylus, so cool, right? I love a green stylus with a black DS. It's totally awesome. And I do like the colors green and black together. I think they make a very nice combination. I think it makes a better combination than how do you say, yellow and black? Now, I do like the Pittsburgh Steelers. As a matter of fact, it doesn't matter what team. I like any team that can go out there with a good sportsmanship and play a good game. And that can definitely show their fans and their families what playing a good game is and what sportsmanship's all about. And I just want to show you guys through this video what patience and dedication is about. In my last video, part one of this, I explained to you that you don't want to just throw the parts together and call it a build because it'll backfire on you. So I did install the microphone correctly, and I installed the Wi-Fi capabilities correctly. I mention that because I could totally see how some people may disregard those two components. Like, I don't need them. I'm not connecting to the internet. Or I have no need to speak through that microphone when I play games. I'm not playing those type of games. Well, I have no need personally to connect to the Wi Fi, and I also have no need to use a microphone. However, I went ahead and took my time with it just so I can have a complete build. It's about integrity. And honestly, those two wires that come from the mic and the Wi Fi, those are complicated wires to get back in there. Um, you see, in this section over here, no, sorry, in this section right here, there's a complicated ribbon that you have to feed through a tube in order to the ribbon comes from this monitor, and it is responsible for sending video signal to this monitor. And once you get it through this tube, you can actually get it down this way into this circuit board, which they communicate together. Complicated because if you get it, like I explained in my last video, if you get a hairline crack or fracture in that ribbon cable, you've lost a monitor. You have to buy a new monitor part and try again. Um, but there's technique for that, and same with the wires that go for the mic and the Wi-Fi component. They have to feed precisely in a path in this board. Otherwise, when you go to put the case down, your lower case will not I don't even know if the term sandwich is like a correct term, but it will not here we go. This case will not come together flush, and you will have a large gap there in that seam and a large gap in the top seam there. So I made sure to do that correctly, and this is a nice build. Let me go and turn it on for you. I just want to show you guys like that this is a working model. Hold on real quick. I love this. I don't have any games in it right now because unfortunately the games I have, I do believe my games are um the only games I have technically are how do you say for 3DS XL. But I do have an R4 card that is actually compatible with this. Um, but I love this unit. You guys take care of your DSs out there. If you guys look online, man, these things are getting more expensive. And I encourage all of you to collect parts. Collect all the parts you can. You find anybody selling something broken for this, collect it. You find anybody throwing their DS away, collect it. Because Nintendo of Japan has stopped manufacturing parts for DS. So now it's up to these third-party companies to manufacture stuff, but unfortunately all you're really finding is like button components, shells, cases, stylus pens, but you're not seeing any companies that are replicating the circuit boards. So that's something very important to think about, is preserving your DSs as preserving them as well as you can. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you for watching my video on my DS build, the before and after. And if you like the video, please hit that like button. Talk to us, talk to me, comment. If you have any questions, if you want to know anything, just text me, or no, not text me, sorry. Comment in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel, because the more people that subscribe, the more motivation I will have to make videos, because I live a very busy life. I'm not too busy to answer questions you guys have, and with the motivation train, I will not be too busy to make more videos. I have a lot more content coming to you guys, interesting content. I promise I will not fail. You guys have an awesome weekend. Thank you.